What a day, what a day, what a day. It's been a packed day two at Field Service USA with a lot of amazing service leaders and speakers. And I'm really excited to wrap up this packed day with none other than Rodger Smelcer. Rodger, welcome to the show.
Hey, good to see you.
Rodger, you're one of my favorite people in the world. I look up to you. I look at you as a mentor, a partner, a friend. I mean, honestly, I give you credit for getting us involved in this amazing industry. I never knew anything about commercial food equipment. I never knew it even existed until we partner up with you. So I give you a lot of credit for getting us into this industry and really opening up our eyes about all the opportunities that exist and all the amazing people that you get to interact with. So I want to start off by saying thank you. I'm grateful. I feel that I've been blessed to get to know you. And yeah, I'm excited about talking to you about the keynote that you just gave, which is around how do we attract Gen Z and millennials into the workforce, and how do we bridge that gap? Because as we know, the field service industry is an aging industry. But when everyone is saying, "Oh, it's an aging industry," it's old. I can only find technicians that are close to retirement. On the other end, I'm not going. I'll let you talk to a lot of the data points that you have. But I was blown away when I found how many youth or young folks, millennials and Gen Zs, actually work at USC. So I'm blown away. But before I get into that, I would love to kick this off by maybe giving us a little bit of background about Rodger, what you do at USC and Tech24, and let's dive in.
Well, my job at UST is to cast the vision, reinforce the values, and really just kind of drive the culture, push the technology, and set the tone. I have a great team that really runs the company. I wish I could say I was doing it all, but I have an amazing team that does that for me. And I also have a very highly dedicated team. I was talking to a couple of people here earlier today, and they were asking me how I motivate people. And I don't. I heard this quote before, and I don't know who said it. Dedication is better than motivation. And I really buy into that. And my people are dedicated. And yes, there are many young people in our company. We've got probably a little over 60% of them are millennials or Gen Z.
Wow.
And they're amazing energy, right? They're focused in on experience instead of stuff. And so that benefits us in a couple of ways. They want to create an amazing experience for the customer at the service level and right at the point of service. But not only that, they want a good experience inside of our company, and they push us to make sure that we're on our toes and creating a good experience for them. And we root for each other in our company, so we have a really cohesive team. I think some of the benefit, especially in my management team, is that I knew most of them for 5 or 10 years before I even hired them. So that there's a close-knit aspect to that before they even got there, that really made that work for me. But beyond the immediate management team, the technicians in the field are young. In general, the average age is about 27. And
the average age of your technician is 27?
Yes. So it's
we're talking about, we're talking here, tens of technicians. We're not talking about one or two.
I have just under 90 technicians in the UST group. Wow. And we're part of a bigger group inside the Tech24 family of companies. And I think we have about 700 technicians nationally now.
Wow.
So pretty exciting.
how do you get people in their 20s to come, because the prevalent perception is, oh, young people are just not attracted to our industry. It's they perceive it as, you know, dirty, or not, how should I put it, it's not the kind of job you want to tell your dad about when he just dumped, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars on your education. At least that's the perception. How do you get people, you know, Gen Zs and millennials to actually come join your company?
Well, I would say the short-winded answer to that question is we create the kind of culture and environment that young people want to be a part of. And once they're a part of it, they refer each other. I was just talking to one of our 20-year guys, service manager in Southern California, Vince Vidalis, and he has gotten a couple of new recruits from referrals from our existing guys in the Southern California area. And in Northern California, it's much the same story. In Texas, the same thing. So, you know, I remember when I first got into business, you know, people told me, oh, don't hire family members. But inside of our company, we have sisters, mothers and daughters, brothers. You know, my own brother actually works in our company. And it's worked out well. You know, we haven't really had all the problems that are associated with that normally. I think we're in a different environment now. You know.
So you talked about creating culture. What do you mean? So what is that culture that millennials and Gen Zs are attracted to, that maybe a little bit different than the culture the more experienced or older generation technicians are attracted to?
Well, I think, you know, the way we've approached it is we're really trying to build their resume. And the way we do that is we simply encourage them to create goals every quarter. And those goals should read like line items on a resume. I start with my management team, and my management team is carrying it down to their people. So, you know, at the end of the year, we should have been able to add 10 or 12 good solid line items to a resume. And so that means when you have a project, you know, there are a couple of technologies we use that are even represented here at the show. Quant's one of them. When you have a project like that, you want to get as many people involved in it as you can, because you realize that you're building resumes, not only for them, but it's helping the company. It's a win-win, right? So you might think that sounds counterintuitive, and they would take that resume and go somewhere else.
That's first. Like, why would I want to? Yeah. So that's the selfish me. It's like I'm building someone's, you know, resume to go work for my competition or for someone else. You're right. That's the immediate thought that comes to mind.
Yeah. So the difference is the commitment we made to them to continue to do it. So yes, they might take their resume somewhere else. And if they do, will that company continue to develop their resume as we've been doing? Will their market value continue to increase? With us, it will. And their value to the company will continue to increase as well. So, you know, for us, it's working, and it's making a difference. We have some really great young technicians that have come in, and we have some really great senior technicians that have been with us for a long time, and they're still a part of our organization. They still do a lot inside of our organization. Some are technicians, some have gone to digital support and help other technicians. Most of them are mentoring the young guys that come in and passing on that tribal knowledge that they have and helping them develop quickly. And you know, I'm really proud of our team. As you can tell, I'm passionate about them. I really love the people I work with at UST and in the bigger organization at Tech 24. I've been, you know, we were acquired back in April of 21, and it's been awesome. You know, I get a lot of good coaching from the senior leadership at Tech 24, and that's helped me personally be able to understand some things I really didn't know. coming in as a smaller company that would help me to get to the a little bit to the next level. And so I feel like I'm growing, I'm learning a lot in a bigger organization now, and that's new for me. I was one of the co-founders of United Service Technologies. We founded it 28 years ago. So, you know, it's a different, it's different, but it's exciting.
It is. It is. And it's fascinating. So 3 takeaways so far. One is the promise, the value proposition, right? Your talent, your value proposition to attract talent is, yeah, I'm going to build your resume, and you're resetting the criteria of how do I evaluate what is a good job for me? And you're resetting the criteria because, you know, we all know how it goes around in the industry, right? You know, someone pays extra $5 or $10 or, you know, they're, you know, right. That's how it is, right? Paying bonuses and bribing people to come join your cause and, you know, quit this company and come join you. But, you know, but those same people or technicians who quit because for extra few bucks, they're going to quit on you and someone else offer them a few more bucks. But how can you take someone or steal someone who's focused on growth and who's joining a company because they're investing in his growth? You can't steal them easily if you don't have that infrastructure to train them and develop them. So you really reset the whole. So they're not even in the same league anymore because it's not about. So you're attracting people. So it's really the quality of people. First and foremost. You speak, you know, as a millennial, I'm all about personal growth. So when you tell me you're going to build my resume and give me skills, I'm already in. But then you're helping me really focus on the right things. And that's personal development, skill acquisition, building my career progression. And that attracts certain type of people who, yes, they want to make money, but that's not their number one priority, right? And that really creates a moat. Especially if you have the infrastructure to deliver on that promise. The third thing is mentorship. Life is a series of mentors, and I'm always looking for mentors. So really just, you know, so those are my 3 biggest takeaways so far on how you attract millennials and Gen Z. So it's making sense. So what are some of the other levers? So so it's the value proposition, the training and mentorship. So what else? What other levers do you pull to appeal to Gen Z and millennials?
Well, of course, you know, we don't discriminate when we hire. We just happen to be getting more millennials and Gen Z applying because that's who we've got in our core, and a lot of them are referring each other. So we still hire technicians that are in other Gen X guys, for example, or ladies that are coming in. We'll take, you know, anybody,
right?
But that's who we're attracting because we have kind of an experience-based culture, you know, and it's focused on that, not just accumulating stuff, you know, which is more associated with my generation and older generations. You know, we were trained in the industrial age to go get jobs and work and buy
safe
stuff
career and buy a home.
He who dies with the most stuff wins, right? Kind of thing. And millennials and Gen Z generations are very experience oriented. That's why they're all living the van life. That's you know, they're doing some different things because they value experiences more than stuff. They're still large consumers. They buy a lot of electronics and stuff, but that's not you know, that's not what they're all about. They really are after the experience, and I believe that they're doing something right there. I think that's a strong feature of the 85 million millennials that are out there, the best educated group, by the way, that the US has ever produced. So it's a powerful group, you know, there's a lot of them, and with the state of the industry right now, with a lot of people, I think I saw a number in one of the sessions today that 75 million people are retiring by 2030.
Wow, that's scary. From our industry, like field service.
No, I think just in general across the board from the
Right.
service industry.
Oh,
Of
in
course,
the U.S. Okay.
yeah, in the US.
Yes. Okay.
Now that's that's an exciting thing too, because you and I have been in the commercial food service industry, and coming here we're in the bigger maintenance industry, right? So we're looking at companies that do service in various verticals and markets. Some are worldwide, some are regional, some are national. And when you come to a conference like this, at Field Service USA, what we often see is a different perspective, a unique perspective for their market segment or their vertical that they're in, or the type of service that they do. Some of the valuable things, I know I'm changing the subject, but I wanted to talk a little bit about what's why I come to Field Service USA. I come here because this is a group that is wanting to disrupt themselves. They're not waiting to be disrupted, right? And the people that come here are eager to learn something at this conference. So it's been I've learned a lot. Most of the technologies that we've adopted, most of the methodologies that we have, I learned here at this conference. And so it's great. This year we've had Nick Cribb,
finally,
Josh
yay, go
Solon,
Nick.
and Corey Yates, and
several
from our industry. Tim Spencer from Bun is here. There's a lot of people here from our industry for the first time, and I'm hoping to see more. CFESA is a great organization, the Commercial Food Service Equipment Association, and they seem to be looking to partner with this group as well. So I'm hopeful that these two organizations will come together and cooperate and build a better commercial food service industry.
Absolutely. And talking about innovation, so I segue back to attracting millennials and Gen Z. I mean, it's in the name, United Service Technologies. So you're uniting the services and you're enabling it with technology. So how has technology played a role, whether in enabling the workforce at USC, or maybe acted as an element of attraction? I'm really attracted because, as millennial Gen Z, I'm all about technology, right? My son was born with the iPhone in his hand. He knows how to push buttons and operate the iPhone better than I do. So how has technology maybe played a role in the value proposition that you go to market with to attract this kind of talent?
So a lot of people, when they first think of technology, they're thinking of all the popular technologies, AI and AR and mixed reality technology and all of these things. It can be as simple as the phone in your pocket, right? So typically a technician has two phones, their personal phone and their work phone. And my business partner, Bob Heidkamp, and I, when we first started the company, we committed to the best phone in their pocket will be their work phone. And we invested there because we wanted them to have the tools that they use, that they would use every day. And, it would be a little badge of representing UST's forward thinking and technology when they went home too. We want their family to see that we're putting the best technology in their hands. We want their friends to see that we're putting the best technology in their hands, because we believe that will attract more technicians just like them to us. Now, just because the phone's not the only thing we do. Of course, we're using a Quant. We've used Help Lightning and other technologies, but to me, it's not the particular technology. It's just being willing and open to use the best technology available and put it in the hands of technicians and get technicians involved in the decision to do so. You know, a lot of times when we have meetings or we're implementing software, you know, technicians are in those meetings. You know, we'll invite 2 technicians from the field into the meetings and get their opinion on how things are going. Right now, we're really working with technicians to try to improve on workflows and software that we just implemented and things like that. And it's been really fruitful to get their opinion on what's going on. And some things they frankly just don't like. Some things they really like. They want to push for change too. And it's great when they're pushing for change, because usually, you know, it's hard for a business to do the change management themselves and work with their technicians, try to get them to adopt things. But if they're a participant in it, you know, it's much easier to go move forward that way.
And what would you say, and maybe I'm putting you on the spot here, but what would you say, what was the, if you had to name one, what's the, what has been the most impactful piece of technology you've implemented that just changed how technicians go about their day? And it was most impactful for them, not so much, right? So what was it like? Was there like a piece of technology that's like, wow, I didn't expect it to have this level of impact on technicians?
Yeah, I think over the years, the biggest ones have been field service management software, implementing different ones. I think a quant was a big one for us. It gave us insights we had never really had before.
Like what?
So what it did for us is it created a heat map between problem solutions, technicians, equipment, and we were able to identify quicker areas that we needed to train them in. So we used it as a training tool more than anything, which is kind of an unconventional use.
Right.
But we were trying to identify proactively areas where we could help technicians come along in their training. And in the same way, I would say most of the technology we implement is to help technicians get training or to support them as they work. You know, I think outside of that, the technology isn't as important as the workflows that you know, trying to make. We've had a philosophy for many years to try to take as much out of the hands of a technician besides the troubleshooting as we can. But as the need for data has increased, we're having to take advantage of our best IoT device ever, which is our technician in the field. Not all data is equal. The richest data you have from the equipment comes from technicians. And so coaching technicians on how to write service orders,
because that's where the insight is.
That's where the insight is. And that's kind of what a quant enables, right? So it's reading through, a quant's technology is reading through what's written and parsing out the problems, the solutions, what came up during that call that might be valuable later. So it's just a data mining piece of software that helps us get data that's actually actionable.
You know, if there's a common theme for me in this conference, it's really data and AI. It's just revolutionizing the way field services approach, performance management, and actually just thinking about the whole business. And we could go days here just talking about data and AI. And Rodger is someone who's probably one of the first, if not the first, service company that brought AI into commercial food equipment. So it's been fascinating, really, seeing your pace of innovation and and how you're bringing a new mindset to a really, I may say, rigid industry. We're trying to bring it to the future, like you said, and we're seeing a lot of good signals, and encouraging signs. Having Josh Zolan and Nick Cribb, join these kind of conferences so that we can all collectively work on moving this industry forward. But if I know it's the end of day 2, and you've been here since the morning, so you're probably looking forward to a quick nap, just like me. But if we want to wrap this up, Rodger, by like, what would you leave our audience with if someone, another service leader just like yourself, they're looking to become a little bit, make themselves a little bit more relevant to millennials and Gen Z and speak their language? Like, what would you leave them with? What would be like one thing that would help them move them forward towards appealing better to millennials and Gen Zs?
Well, in a world that likes to make fun of those two generations, be the one that's encouraging them. Be the one that's dreaming for them and promoting them, and really believe it, be committed to it. You'll attract a lot of that group. No one can spot inauthenticity like a millennial or a Gen Z, right? They have spidey senses in that area. If you're not speaking in an authentic way, they're not going to follow. And many of them are turning into great leaders even within our organization at a young age, and I believe in them. I sincerely think that in spite of all the fun that some people make of them, they're smart. They are, like I said, experience oriented. They just want to have great experiences. And I think at the end of the day, we can provide that as service companies, as we provide that same great experience for our customer.
I love it. And there you have it, folks. Rodger Smelcer coming to us with a lot of wisdom and insight gained from decades of experience in the industry. I'm honored to have you, Rodger, on the show, and
Thanks,
this is
Austin.
the beginning of a lot more conversations and going deeper into across a lot of topics, including attracting technicians and new talent into the industry. Again, I want to express my gratitude for all of your support and partnership over the past 3 years, and I'm excited for the future. We're talking a lot about a lot of initiatives that we're going to work on together, and and bringing, and not just keeping it for ourselves, but really how can we share it with the rest of the industry in a way to progress us all, right, and bring more like-minded folks into the circle.
Let's in the future, let's talk about the technology we didn't talk about that we're both working on together.
Boom.
Training technology.
There you go.
And how we're leveraging that together and making it powerful for not only our technicians, but all the people in the back office as well.
Boom. All right, we're not going to let the cat out of the bag just yet.
Teaser for come back and see us then.
Well, there you have it, folks. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be wrapping up our day 2 at Field Service USA. Tomorrow is going to be a shorter day, but nonetheless, we'll have Josh Zolan talking about swinging the pendulum. So I'm looking forward to going live with Josh tomorrow, and really bring more service leaders onto this broadcast. So please join me in giving Rodger a big shout out for his contribution on today's show and to the industry. And I'm looking forward to catching you tomorrow, same time, same place. And God bless. Have a great rest of your day. All right.